Hello and welcome. My name is Neil Keating and I'm the CEO and co-founder of XLABS Global. And in this Experience Bite sessions, I'm going to talk to you about what experience is. Now, to boil experience down, we would recognize that experience is how people feel. It's how they feel about you. It's how they feel about your product. It's how they feel about your service. It's how they feel about your team members. It's how they feel about all the interactions they may have with you. If you looked at the dictionary describes experience as how people remember how they felt, which is actually subtly different from how they may have felt at that time. And that's an important distinction, which I'm going to come back to in a few seconds' time. But to really understand experience and what experience is, we need to look at the science. And psychology will teach us the difference between emotions, feelings, and actions. And it tells us that emotions are a real-time thing, emotions are physical, and emotions are in response to something. We may feel happy, we may feel sad, we may feel angry. But emotions only last for minutes, hours, a day or so. And then what happens is that your brain applies your logic and your experience to something you've just had an emotion about. And that turns into a logical feeling. And feelings can last for minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, even a lifetime. But emotions are physical, feelings are logical, and then feelings drive action and behavior. We all do something about how we feel. We all change our behavior about how we might feel about things. But feelings are logical, therefore I can ask you, how do you feel? And we can measure that. And if I came to ask you how you feel, something interesting happens. If I ask you, if we'd all worked for the same organization, and maybe you'd worked there for 15 years, and I ask you how you feel about that organization, you don't base your whole judgment on that organization and what happened to you this morning. You don't base your judgment on what happened to you yesterday. What you do is you weigh up, consciously or subconsciously, all the things that you can remember, back to that dictionary definition, all the things that you can remember happening to you over time. And then you come to a logical conclusion about whether that's positive or negative or however you feel. But it's based upon all those positive and negative interactions that you've had over time. And that teaches us another thing that's really important. Experience is cumulative. It's happening all the time. If you've only had one single moment in time, maybe someone just closed a ticket for you and I ask you how you felt about that ticket being closed, well, that's a transactional experience. If I walked into a store and bought a pair of jeans, that's another potential transactional experience. But in generally speaking, in experience, because it's happening all the time, it's cumulative experiences. And therefore we need to think about experience as cumulative, and we need to measure experience cumulatively as well. And I'm going to come back to that point in later bites for you and tell you how we can do that. So the key important points here is feelings are logical, feelings drive behavior, and experience is cumulative. So why is all that important to any organization? Why is experience management now on the top agendas of most organizations? Well, it's important because experience shapes people's opinions, it shapes their beliefs, and it shapes their actions. People do and they can vote with their feet and vote with their wallet about what's happening at work. So it directly influences this. It directly influences our behavior. Productivity and efficiency gains are all coming from how we feel and all coming from experience. So if you really want to drive the right behavior and the right feelings at your organization, then we need to be looking at experience and we need to be measuring experience management. And in later bites, we're going to teach you how to do that. But I hope this session's been useful just to understand what this is all about. Please come back and look at other sessions for you, and we'll think about why is it important to organizations and how you do this. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope to see you again soon.